Hello guys, Musselwhite here and welcome to my 2017 edition of Toy Geek's Room. I'm not going to waste any time, I'm just going to jump right into it. As you can see, front and center on my desk is two Dell UltraSharp 3008 WFP IPS monitors. I must admit, with the short time I've had with these monitors, I've significantly enjoyed them more than the LG 34UC87C monitor I had for a year and a half at that point. While the RGB color accuracy isn't the best, I love working on 1.5 displays and the other half for video I'm watching in the background. It's truly something I missed having. Just below them you can see the remainder speakers of my Logitech Z506 system. Honestly, there is not much to say about them. They sound good for what they cost, and honestly they are a great entrance to the 5.1 surround sound when everything is connected. On the left is the Wacom Cintiq 18SX. This graphics tablet is getting on in its years now, and other than the faulty video signal in the centralized cable, it's a great display for when I get some ideas down or practice scoping, and for the price I paid for it, it's truly been money well spent. In terms of what keyboard and mouse I'm using, they are the Apple Pro keyboard and the first generation Magic mouse respectively. The keyboard is actually a placeholder choice right now while I'm sorting out the actual keyboard I want to use. But it's a very nice keyboard, and it's honestly nice going back to this type of keyboard after growing tired of the Magic keyboard. The Magic mouse is a very nice mouse to use on the macOS. The gestures just work, and I do find it effortless just to switch from one desktop to another, and natural scrolling with this device is truly delightful, and I would recommend this mouse easily with any macOS user. Additionally, the webcam I'm using is the invulnerable Logitech G902. The quality is amazing most of the time, though I do wish the webcam could take in more light as I notice clipping sometimes, but it's sharp, smooth, and works really well. Finally, in the terms of peripheral, in front of the Cintiq is my Blue Microphone Snowball Ice with a cheap microphone stand and pop filter I got from Amazon. This microphone sounds really clear and crisp, and I don't know why others would need something as high-end as the Yeti. Although the normal Snowball mic I would easily recommend due to the extra modes it offers. Underneath my desk from left to right you can see the Beyerdynamic DT331s and Pioneer SE305s. The subwoofer for my aforementioned sound system, my UPS, and finally the Hackintosh VW and PS4, as well as my cable management skills or my lack thereof. The Hackintosh is my main workstation and sports a Intel Core i7 4790K processor, 8GB of memory from Corsair, a 480GB and 120GB SSD to host both OSs, and a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 970 graphics card. In terms of the workstation scale, it's on the low end of what you can get and probably equivalent to a HP Z4 system. However, having said that, it's still a very capable machine for rigging, modeling, and texturing. Unfortunately, I cannot speak about animating since I've done so little of it on the system. Additionally, you may remember I added a GeForce GTX 780 Ti to the Hackintosh earlier in the year, but due to me not connecting the 8-pin power correctly, the cooling fans lost power, but the card was still receiving enough power to work properly, and it unfortunately died in August from overheating. Moving to left of my desk, you can see the horrible mess of my bedside drawer and my Star Trek models. The prize and joy out of these two models has to be the USS Excelsior model Dad made a little under a decade ago, and I absolutely love it. But with a possible leaking battery in the secondary hull and it's causing some discoloration at the bottom, does make a nerd like me worry about it. But right now it's a truly great model and it's honestly really cool. On the right of my desk you can see my bed as well as the well neglected entertainment setup with my 23.6 inch Technicolor TV and the Pacific PV204 VCR player. Honestly, the main thing that makes me not want to watch stuff on the TV has to be the size is way too small for the distance involved, especially when I got a 30-inch monitor right on my desk. I might try to start watching stuff using this separate game at some point, but right now it's really just a recharge station for my Surface Book and controllers. Moving from that, you can see my overfilled bookshelf and the Omega server. The server is a 2001 digital audio Power Mac G4 with a 533MHz PowerPC G4 chip, 640MB of SD RAM, an NVIDIA GeForce 2 MX GPU, and 2 hard drives with 80GB and 160GB capacities respectively, and is running macOS Tiger. While the Mac can only see 128GB of the 160GB drive due to limitations with the IDE bus, it has been a great storage server, and I back up files I do not want to lose under any circumstances. Moving on to miscellaneous stuff that fills my room, we go above my bed to see my Geek shelf. This shelf holds original boxes from products I currently or used to have, framed comics and other things which pleases the geeky side of me. Next we're going to take a quick gander at my plushie collection on my bed. Here we see the Twilight Sparkle and Applejack plushies we got for my 18th birthday, along with Snowdrop, who has been one of my favourite plushies I own, and finally my most recent addition, Sweetie Belle. I love these plushies and I do try to keep them in their absolute peak condition. Just because we can, we're going to glide across my cup corner that has all of my mugs that I use somewhat frequently. My favourite is obviously getting the brunt of the uses involved. Also we see a glimpse of my Amazon Echo Dot. And finally we look around to see the 4 posters hanging around my room. The Welcome to Ponyville one needs to be realigned, but I haven't got around to it just yet. Honestly, the poster that has the most interesting story behind it has to be the cartoon computer drawing I've had since my 6th year in the education system, and it has been mine ever since, and without a doubt is one of my prized posters I own. And there we go guys, that is my room / studio in its current form, and there's quite a few changes I want to make to some parts of it. But hopefully this gives a glimpse of the place where I spend the majority of my time making content for you to enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.